Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Young Prospect, back again with another one. Today is a little bit different. I'm gonna be doing something that I usually don't be doing. I'm gonna be just investigating how Nasdaq moves. I've been trading Nasdaq for like the past couple of years, and today I just felt like just improving or sharpening the skill in terms of how I trade Nasdaq. So on the daily time frame, here's what I did basically. This is how I'm gonna investigate this thing. So on the daily time frame, I just picked an area, a random area, just like this one, and I've used this box tool, rectangle tool, to actually just isolate price there. And I'm just gonna go to 15-minute time frame, and I'm just gonna find that rectangle, and then I'm just gonna try and investigate why price did what it did at that particular area and find out on how I can actually capitalize on that situation. Okay, I see price doesn't want to rewind up until that area. Let's try the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, I think you can see it. Okay, so here's basically the move that I wanted to catch. So this is sort of like a back testing slash investigating how Nasdaq moves. So I'm just gonna go to the area which I'm investigating. This is where the start of that candle that you saw on the daily began, and then other candles also appeared, and then it stopped around this area. So I'm just going to be investigating on actually how I can capitalize this move right here, catch it all the way up there, which is about, how many pips is this? It's about a thousand pips. I'm not gonna be very specific. So first things first, I would like to note that we was coming down with a little bit of correction, and what I know about a correcting market, it's a sign that price is slowing down, price is approaching an area. For an example, as price moves along this area, right, you can clearly see that price is just basically impulsing. But if price moves in this manner, it's a sign that price is going to get to this area and probably drop off, right? So it's easy to see a market that looks like this and just trade within it, but the foreign exchange market doesn't really much like move like that. It basically corrects its way up into an area, and on that resisting area there, it drops, and then it might drop impulsively, and then going up again it might just correct, right? And then it might drop impulsively. This is called the impulse correction, which this being the correction, and then this being the impulse, and this being the correction, and this being the impulse. So um, in this perspective, you get to see that price has an area or a side where it just simply impulses. Sometimes price impulses up and corrects down, impulses up, corrects down. So it basically chooses on how it wants to treat that particular area that is currently trading on. So in this particular area, I just want to see in which side was it actually correcting. So as you can see, we had this mini correction here, impulse, and we had this mini correction, impulse, and then we had this area here, which was an extended. This area here was supposed to be this flag alone, but it ended up being extended to another flag here. And then what happened, we saw the impulse here. I'm just gonna isolate this as a flag, and then this is called um, an order block, but we'll get into that in another video. And then this, it started impulsing, correcting, impulsing. So as you can see, Nasdaq pretty much moves in a very simple manner. It corrects, it can be as ugly as it wants, like this, and then it impulses afterwards. So for you to actually catch these trades as a sell, these ones here, the only way you can do that is to actually investigate why it actually sold there so impulsively, and then that's how you have an edge against Nasdaq. So again, in terms of understanding forex, you are taught that price moves down, corrects, breaks its previous level, retests, drops, and checks its previous level, and then so forth, so forth. So what we are doing now is basically checking that. So I'm just gonna use a box here. So we had this double bottom here, we broke it, and then we retested it. This could have been one of the potential sells, right? Stop loss just above the impulse, and then let me just move this back. We're aiming for 1:2 at all times, right? At least that's what I'm doing. And then price impulses down, leaves a low, add a box there, and then drop down, retest. That's what you want to do. These are the entry areas. You check where you impulsed, and then you just put your stop above that. Unfortunately, you got wicked out in this situation, but it happens. This is forex, and you've got another low here, as you can see, and then it price stayed above it up until at least this area, and then we broke. And we were supposed to retest this, right? So this would have been an entry. You're gonna treat this like it would have been an entry for real in the market. So just gonna move this down where it started impulsing just a bit there, and I'm gonna make sure that it's 1:2. This is 2, right? This is 2. Now I'm gonna find another low, which is basically this one, and then as you can see, price impulsed its way down and then came back there. Boom, it's an entry. The stop is just above where it started impulsing, and then 1:2. As you can see, I'm checking here, guys, please stay with me. There's your 1:2, and then as you can see, guys, you actually basically won this trade, lost this one, let me see, won this one, and basically lost. Okay, and then you won this one as well. Since you're using 2, this is gonna be 2, -1, -1. Let's make this 1, sorry, -1%. This is 2%, 2%. 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5. So we basically made 5% in this area. And then moving right along, as price goes on, we're at a low here. Price got to it, and then it went up, bounced back up again, and then finally broke. And then the reason why I'm saying this would have been an entry as well. The reason why I'm saying that is because every situation you wanna treat it like you haven't seen price pushing up. You just wanna back test according to what you are seeing. So the impulse started from this area, the one that broke it. This is where it started. So the SL is gonna be just above that. You need 2%, meaning that you have to stretch all the way down there. So let's see. Okay, probably this trade wouldn't have been the one, because I'm looking at the stop and it seems fairly unreasonable. So I'm just gonna assume that this trade was not taken. And then from here, what you're noticing is price keeps making these lows, price keep making these lows, and then price gave you this low as well. And then look at what happens here now. Here's what I'm investigating. Here we had these wicks, right? If you extend them on your right, to your right, what do you notice? You notice price just couldn't even pierce through the wicks. So what that tells me, guys, is price didn't make a lower low, just like this area here. If it didn't make a lower low as it pushes up, what I would have waited for in this area for a buy is a retest and information that it's impulsing, and as soon as it retests here, that's where I would have taken the buy, as you can see. So with that type of view as well, we're waiting for price to fail to break here. It failed to break, and then it started pushing up, giving me a low confirmation, and then it broke that low and it got here. This would have been where the entry could have been taken. The stop could have been here, the stop could have been here. So you remember the stop is placed, I place my stops according to weight impulse. So the reason that this level even broke in the first place was because of this impulse right here. So I'll be placing my stop just below that. And then now, what am I saying to you guys? I'm saying this is not confirmation that the trend has changed yet, but this is an entry that I'm taking right now. So what am I waiting for to actually see that the trend is probably going to change? I'm waiting for this area to break. Why? Because it was the last known level to ever reach a significant low here. So once this level breaks and it retests, and it pretty much did, that's where I would re-enter again. Maybe we're using a buy limit just above there. As soon as it breaks, I use a buy limit. And then if this level, as you can see, let me just move this. Let me just clean this up a bit. So if this level is the level that I'm trying to enter on, I wait for price to impulse, and then I put a buy limit there. And this is where it started impulsing. Let me show you. This is where it started impulsing, right? So my stop is just below that. And then as you can see, you would have caught this move. Maybe your first TP would have been maybe this one, and then for the second entry maybe you would have held it a little bit longer. And then as you can see, guys, where did the correction start? Where did this correction start? It started on your left. That is why on my previous video I always said look left. So this is where my TP would have been. And then as you can see, 5% plus 7% plus 4.69%. I believe that's a very good percentage for you to actually survive on NASDAQ. And I hope this video gives you a little bit of insight on how you can improve your trading. As you can see, I was following a system. I did take a loss, and sometimes I do take more than one loss. So I want to encourage you to never give up. Always, always, always believe that you're going to improve. Never think of the worst first. It's your boy, Young Prospect, signing out.